So you have 8%. Okay, 8% sitting born on 8 different years. Similarly, okay, this question is similar to the previous one which I have taught you earlier. Okay, so 8% born in 8 different years, and their ages were calculated with respect to the year 2019. Okay, and along with this, with the person, we are going to check. They're having different mobile phones. They're having different mobile phones. We are going to map the mobile phones with the person with their respective years and age. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So the first three lines speaking about the major framework which we need to get. Okay, the tabulation. So you have 8%. So I'm going to put the table now. You have 8 different years. You need to calculate with respect to the year 2018. As they have given here, you need to calculate with respect to the year 2019. So if you're going to calculate it from the last, okay, 2019 minus 2001 will be the age will be 18. Okay, I'll say you why you have to calculate it from the last. It's because it will be easy. Okay, to subtract 2001 from 2019 is easy. Then subtracting 1978 from 2019. Well, this is easier. So we are using, we are going to subtract it from the last. And what you're going to do is we are going to add the difference of the ages over here. Okay, the difference of the age 2000 and 2001 is 1. So if you're going to add 1 to the 18, it will be 19. Similarly, the difference of 1997 and 2000 is 3. If you're adding 3 to it, it will be 22. Okay, completing the whole table in the similar pattern, you'll get 25. Sorry, it will be here. 25 will be there. 25, 27, 34, 36, and 41. Okay, so this is your age. From 18 to 41, this is your age. Okay, so we have subtracted the age 2019 with all these years and we have got the age. Now we are going to fill in the person and the respective mobile. For that, we need the clues that is given below. Difference between, so what I'm going to do is before going to the clues, okay, I'm going to split the clues into points so that it will be easy for us to solve, as well as we do not miss out any of the points here. Okay, so we'll just do it here. We're going to split the points. And then after splitting the points, we are going to write the respective clues. Okay, so the difference between G and D is not less than 3 years, which means the difference between the age of G and D should be greater than 3 years. So G minus D, okay, will be greater than 3 years. So that is the meaning. So I've written it down there. The difference between G and D is not less than 3 years, which means greater than 3 years. D is younger than G. Okay, so G, and then you have D. Okay, D is younger than G. The next is the average age of G and D is 1 less than the age of L. Okay, so you can have it like G plus the average age of G and D is G plus D divided by 2. This is your average age. It should be 1 less than the age of L, which means the age of L should be 1 greater than the average of G and D. So L will be greater than the average of G and D. So that is the meaning. The one who has, once again, okay, so the one who has Vivo was born immediately after, immediately before L. Okay, so Vivo was born immediately before L. So I'm going to highlight it immediately before because this is important. Okay, immediately before. So immediately before, after Vivo you have L. So you can write it as Vivo. Followingly you have L. Okay, then as many persons were born before the one who has Vivo was born after the one who has Samsung. So before Vivo, if you have 2 persons, it should be the same. After Samsung also, you should have only the 2 persons. Okay, so before Samsung, if you have 2, then after Samsung also, it should be 2. The ratio should be same. Okay, so that is one thing. The difference between V and the one who has Redmi is less than 3 years. Okay, so V and the one who has Redmi is less than 3 years. Okay, and the difference between me and the one who has Redmi is less than 3 years. 2 persons were born between P and the one who has Nokia. Okay, so between P you have 2 persons and then you have Nokia. Okay, the one who has Apple was born before P. Okay, the one who has Apple was born before P. So it is like Apple and then P. S was born after P but does not have Samsung. Okay, so you can write it like S was born after P. So P followingly you have S, but S will not have Samsung. So I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to strike it out. S will not have Samsung. The one who has higher was born after S. So S, and then you have higher. The one who has Oppo was born immediately after H. So here you have again immediately after. So I'm going to highlight it because it is important. Okay, so H and then followingly you have Oppo. Who was born before the one who has OnePlus but born after the one who has Oppo. Okay, so it is like Oppo, you have Q and then you have OnePlus. Okay, L was not born in 1985. So we can highlight which will be using it. Okay, as many persons also you can highlight it. Okay. இல்ல சார், அவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்கன்னா நான் போய் சொன்னேன். Okay, so we have highlighted the important points here. With the help of these important clues, okay, we are going to solve this problem. So the difference between G and D is not less than 3, as I have said. Okay, and the D is younger than G. Okay, that is also D is younger than G. The average average age of G and D is 1 less than the age of L. Okay, so here if you look at it, those 3 points are speaking continuously about the values G and D. Okay, so if you track it properly, if you track all these 3 clues properly, you can able to fix the position of G and D exactly on the respective years. Okay, so the difference between G and D is not less than 3 years. Okay, D is younger than G, and average age should be one less than the age of L. So first I'm going to calculate. I should look after the years, ages, so that the difference should not be less than 3. 41 and 36 is not having the age less than 3, but 36, 34 has it. 34 to 27 is exactly 3. 27, 25 is 2. 25, 22 is 3, is exactly 3. 22, 19 you have exactly 3, and 19, 18 is 2. Okay, but if you calculate it with 41 to 34, 27 and 25, you have the age that is greater than 3. Okay, so if for example I should look after all the clues. Okay, D should be younger, one thing, and difference should be greater than 3, and the average should be 1 less than that of L. So keeping all these things in mind. Okay, for example, if I'm giving G over here and I'm going to give D over here or over here. Okay, so I'm going to give D over here. D is younger than G is satisfied. The difference of greater than 3 is also satisfied. But the average age, 41 plus 34, it will give you 77. But if you find out the average, it will come in point. I'm like in decimal points. Okay, you will have like 22.5, 24.5. But those kind of ages are not given in the table. So you should not look after to those kind of ages. Okay, so this position is not possible. If I have to give G over here, and I'm going to give D over here, 36 plus 34, okay, it will be 70 again. It will be 70. Okay, yes, it will be like 170. If you find the average, it will be 35. But the age 35 is not here. Okay, 35 is not here, and L should be 1 greater than G and D. So if 35 plus 1 is 36, but it's already filled with G, so you can't mark G over here. And obviously G 36 and 34 is not of age difference greater than 3. Okay, if you find it from G and 34, okay, it will be like 75. Again you have the difference. So if you calculate in that way, okay, the only possibility of having G and D will be like here you can put G and D will be over here. So if you calculate, okay, D is younger than G, it is satisfied. The average age of G plus D divided by 2, so 34 plus 18. Okay, 34 plus 18 divided by 2. You will get it as 26. The average will be 26. L should be 1 more than that of the average. So you have L. The average age of L should be 27. So you have 27 here. So you can mark L over here. So the first thing itself, since you have 3 clues speaking about the same variable, okay, the same character, if you sort it out properly, then you can solve this problem easily. Okay, so now the rest of the things. So these 3 things we have completed and got the answer. The one who has 0 was born immediately before L. Okay, so the one who has 0 was born immediately before L. Okay, so before L you have the word immediately before. So before L you should have 0. Okay, since you have immediately before, you have G, so G will have the mobile 0. Okay, so before L you have 0. And next is, as many persons were born before the one who has 0 was born after the one who has Samsung. Okay, so as many persons were born before the one who has 0 was born after the one who has Samsung. Okay, so if, for example, I said you before Vivo you have 2 persons, then after Samsung also you should have 2 persons. So here we have marked the mobile Vivo. We got the we got the exact position where Vivo will come, so we have marked it. Now we have to mark Samsung in such a way that it should also satisfy the key. So before Vivo you have 2%. So obviously you should mark Samsung in such a position that you should, after to Samsung also you should have 2%. Okay, so 1, 2. So here you have Samsung. Difference between V and the one who has Redmi is less than 3 years. Okay, so difference between V and the one who has Redmi is less than 3 years. So we need to find out where Redmi and V will come. Okay, it should be less than 3 years. So you have n number of possibilities: 36, 34, 34, 27 is exactly 3. You should not have, you will not have 27, 25, and then 19, 18. So these are the possibilities where you have V. So difference between V and Redmi is exactly 3, is less than 3 years. So 36 and 34, if I put V over here, you can't put Redmi. Okay, because Redmi will come immediately after or immediately before V. Okay, so you can't put Redmi over here. So here you have the difference of 27, 25. If I have to try with this, okay, if I put V over here, then I have the possibility of having Redmi. Similarly, I have possibility over here, 19 and 18. So if I put V over here, then I can put Redmi here. Okay, I have this possibility. Okay, so first I'll try with this one. I'm going to give V over here, and then I'm going to give Redmi here. Okay, the difference between V and Redmi is less than 3 years. (27, 25) less than 3 years. So V and Redmi. Okay, we've got it. Next is the two persons were born between P and the one who has Nokia. Okay, so you have to mark P and you leave 2%, and then you have to mark Nokia. So if I'm going to mark P over here, I leave 2%, then I have to mark Nokia, but I don't have space to mark Nokia. If I have to give P over here, leave 2%, G and L, I can mark Nokia over here. Okay, if I give P over here, I cannot mark Nokia because only 2% are there below P, and after which I have to mark Nokia. For that I don't have space. So the exact position where P will come is here, and after leaving 2%, you have Nokia over here. Okay, so this is done. The one who has Apple was born before P. Since you know the position of P, now you can fill the position of Apple too. This is done, so I'm striking it out. Since you know the position of P, you can mark Apple too. So before P, you should have Apple. So here you have Apple. Next, S was born after P but does not have Samsung. Okay, so after P you should put S. So you have two possibilities. Okay, and you have an extra clue that S should not have Samsung. That is given clearly. So here you can't put S. If you put S over there in the year 1997 of age 22, you have Samsung. Okay, so which means your the rule is not the rule is not obeyed. Okay, so then it will give you the wrong answer. So the only possibility of having yes is below that. So here you can put yes. Okay, so they have given S was born after P, not immediately after. You have to note it here. You have to note the difference between immediately after and after. Since it has said only after, so I'm giving it as after P and I'm marking it as yes. Okay, if it is immediately after, then I have to mark it immediately below P. Okay, so that is one thing, and we have marked yes. So this is done. The next one, the one who was higher was born after yes. So again, it is not immediately after. Okay, it is given us just after. So the one who was higher was born after yes. Okay, after yes you have one position. that is D. So D will be having higher. Next one. The one who has Oppo was born immediately after H. So after H you have Oppo. The one who has Oppo was born immediately after H. Okay. So here you have the word immediately after. So you have two possibilities. You can put H over here and Oppo over here. You can also put H and Oppo over here. In order to get clarified of which possibility is true, we can go for the next clue. Q was born before the one who has 1 plus, but after the one who has Oppo. So I've written there between Oppo and 1 plus, you should have Q. Okay, so Oppo first, and then you have Q, and then you have 1 plus. So that is the order. Okay, so if I give Oppo here and 1 plus here, the order will be changed. So for example, if I'm going to put H and Oppo here, 1 plus will come over here. Okay, and you will have Q, which means the last rule, Q was born before the one who has 1 plus and after the one who has Oppo. That rule will not be followed. For that case, always remember in a puzzle question, all the rules has to be followed. Okay, you should not leave out any of the rules. All the rules has to be followed. Okay, so for that case, I'm going to mark it like H and Oppo here. So I will put 1 plus here. Remaining place will be filled by 1 plus here. And between 1 plus and Oppo, you have Q. It is not exactly between, but still between Oppo and 1 plus, you have Q. The clue is satisfied. Okay, so the tabulation is completed. The answer for this question is completed. Okay, so the person H with age 41, born in year 1978, having Apple mobile. Okay, P with age 36, born in 1983 with Oppo. G 34 of age, born in 1985 with Vivo. L 27 of age, born in 1992 with Redmi. V age 25, born in 1994 with Nokia. Q born in 22, like age 22 with age 1997 having Samsung. S born in 19 on age 19, born in 2000 and having 1 plus. D age 18 of year 2001 and having higher. Okay, so these are the correct and exact places of person's mobile age and year. Okay, so look after this question. Okay, I'm giving you 5 minutes time. Look after this question. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, I'm here to explain you. You have this is your homework question, right? So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. It is there on the screen. Look after it. At any point, at this portion, I could not understand. At this place, I could not understand. If you're going to ask me any doubt, I'll explain it to you. Okay, take 5 minutes of time. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts? I've given you time.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, guys, we can see the next class. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.